Hello everyone, and welcome back to the grand reopening of the Free the Monkeys YouTube channel.
It is truly an honor to be able to interact with all of you again. I always had this unwavering faith that this YouTube channel would eventually prevail against nuisance copyright strikes. Thank you to all of your love and support you have shown me on this channel. It is thanks to you followers and subscribers that I am honored to have a platform to speak out against the abuse of pet monkeys in America. One of the main issues I wanted to discuss is the concept of copyright on websites like YouTube. Contrary to what some YouTube judge out there may have you believe about copyrights, the concept of fair use is a very legitimate legal doctrine that says use of copyright-protected material under certain circumstances is allowed without permission from the copyright holder. In the United States, for example, works of commentary, criticism, research, teaching, or news reporting may be considered fair use. In the United States, judges can decide what is considered fair use by considering the 4 factors of fair use and how they apply to each situation. These 4 factors are the following. Number 1, the purpose and character of the use, including whether the use is for
commercial purposes
or is for non-profit educational
purposes.
Courts tend to focus on whether the use of copyright material is transformative, or in other words, whether the use adds new meaning to the original material or is just merely a copy. Number 2, the nature of the copyrighted material. Using material from primarily factual works will more likely be considered fair use than purely fictional ones. Number 3, the amount and substantiality of the portion used relative to the whole copyrighted work. Borrowing small parts of material from an original work is considered fair use rather than large portions. And number 4, the effect of the use upon the potential value of the copyrighted work. Use of copyrighted material that harm the copyright holder's ability to profit from their original work are less likely to be fair uses. Now, in terms of fair use as it regards to my particular case, I have always been confident that my usage of material from other YouTube channels has more than met the definition of fair use. My YouTube channel has never attempted to monetize, and I will never monetize it. My channel exists to expose the terrible conditions pet monkeys in America endure, and thus adds new meaning to the original material in an educational and eye-opening way. I transformed the original source material as well by adding commentary or background information, and at times modifying its aesthetics. The material I use from YouTube are primarily factual in nature. These are real monkeys and their plight. The amount of material I used from other YouTube channels consists of only a small fraction of the total length of the videos I make, and there is absolutely no effect of my use of the source material on the original source material. My intent has never been to harm the copyright holder's ability to continue profiting from their original videos. One thing I wanted to note is that if copyright was such a cut and dried concept on YouTube, then how to explain that approximately 20–30% of YouTube videos consist of reaction or response videos? These reaction or response videos use copyrighted material from other YouTube channels and exist without any issue. Now, I wanted to discuss the bully tactics used by the individual that filed these nuisance strikes against me. I still find it rather amusing that a YouTuber with over 2 million subscribers expends so much time and energy obsessing over someone like me with barely 150 subscribers. It's also amusing that this individual lords over and grandstands on his own Facebook page as if it means anything. This individual constantly rants and raves against me on his Facebook page videos and continually lies and misrepresents the video evidence I post of his monkey's horrible conditions. Talk about preaching to the choir, completely meaningless. And he always makes a cop-out excuse that he doesn't have to respond to me with a proper YouTube video. He doesn't because he knows he has no defense or explanation for any of the video evidence of his monkey's terrible, dysfunctional behavior and appearance. I will point out that I have never threatened or implied threats against this individual, nor have I directed anyone to harass or stalk him. However, I cannot say the same for him. I have evidence of this individual harassing others he wrongfully suspected as being me. In addition, observe the following recent statements made by this individual on one of his video feeds.
Hey, that person's watching. We know who they are. So everybody say hi. I think I know what the real name is, but I'm not going to say I have a good chance. Good chance who they are. If they were to file a dispute, go ahead. All you had to do is file a dispute. But then when you file a dispute back on YouTube, claim like that, I get their stuff back, 'cause it turns into a legal issue, that point. Then I have their name, their address, I have all their info, haha, so it's all good.
Did you catch that? Quote, then when you file a dispute back on YouTube claim like that, I get their stuff back cause it turns into a legal issue. That point then I have their name, their address, I have all their info, so it's all good. Unquote. I'm no legal expert, but that sure sounds like borderline doxing. Doxing or such types of harassment are actually in violation of state laws. For example, in the state of South Carolina, such offenses are subject to Title 16, Chapter 3, Section 1710 of South Carolina Code of Laws, which can lead to conviction of harassment in the second degree. If found guilty, this is considered a misdemeanor that is subject to not more than a $1,000 fine as well as imprisonment no more than 1 year.
And there's one final point I wanted to make about the concept of copyright violations. Since the coward who filed those nuisance copyright strikes against my YouTube channel thinks he's such an expert on copyright issues, I wanted the viewers to take note of the following screenshots from this individual's TikTok page. Note that this individual freely uses snippets of commercial music on many of his TikTok videos. 50 Seconds of Kiss by Prince and the Revolution. Shake It Up by The Cars. Wheel in the Sky by Journey. Who Can It Be Now by Men at Work. Is this jabroni going to tell everyone out there that he had the proper permissions to use these copyrighted music? My guess is that this individual would justify his use of copyrighted material by fabricating some ridiculous lie that TikTok users are allowed to use copyrighted material due to some made-up rule. What a total hypocrite, as always and forever.
Seeing a YouTuber with over 2 million subscribers bullying and censoring a YouTuber with barely 150 subscribers, then gloating about it afterwards to his delusional fanbase, has got to be the wackest, most pathetic weak flex I've ever seen. It's like a 22-year-old Mike Tyson beating up an 80-year-old in the ring and then bragging about how awesome he is afterwards. Absolutely embarrassing.
Keep in mind that this individual is only gloating over his ability to have other people's online content deleted, not because he can offer any rebuttal or evidence to refute claims of how terribly he treats his pet monkeys. That's not exactly something I'd be proud of, but then again we are not dealing with a rational person here.
I am hoping that my experiences in effectively dealing with these nuisance copyright strikes and nuisance pet monkey owners will encourage other pet monkey vloggers to speak out against American pet monkey owners. It is one thing to speak out against monkey abuse overseas, but more focus is needed on the pet monkeys suffering in the United States. Us YouTube vloggers have a lot more rights and options than what some of these delusional pet monkey owners would have you think. What I find especially pathetic is the victim mentality some of these unethical pet monkey owners have. They think that people highlighting the terrible conditions of their pet monkeys is somehow personal. It is only personal because they themselves have chosen to take that path. I have yet to come across any other pet monkey vlogger whose monkeys look and act dreadfully, as the monkeys owned by the individual that filed those nuisance copyright strikes against me. He in fact could have prevented all of this, had he actually cared enough about his monkeys to seek expert guidance over 2 years ago. Instead, he has chosen to hide and lie about the condition of his pet monkeys, insulted and blocked those who showed genuine concern over his pet monkeys. This is the thanks he gives to his loyal followers, and this is the despicable way he treats the very wild animals he exploited for financial profit and notoriety on social media. Sadly, there is no win-lose scenario here. One of this individual's pet monkey is so emotionally and mentally damaged from years of mistreatment that he can no longer even be handled outside his cage unless sedated, and this monkey's odds of being successfully rehabilitated at primate sanctuaries has all but vanished due to his owner's gross negligence. This owner's other 2 monkeys also look and act terribly. And despite all of the video evidence of these monkeys' dysfunctional behavior and appearance, the owner continues to recklessly accuse others of slander, when in fact his baseless accusation of slander against others is in itself slander, because those against his methods have solid scientific research to back them up, while he has zero evidence anyone committed slander. All we can do collectively, as people who truly love non-human primates and wish them to be free in the wild, is continue to expose the terrible lives these pet monkeys lead. If even only one monkey is saved from becoming a pet, the struggle would have been worth it.